Hey, all right, so I want to talk to you a little bit about movement and mobility, improving our flexibility and mobility so that we can move with control, with strength, and really accomplish the exercises and the daily tasks that we want to in our life. And as we get older, we start to lose some mobility, especially as we stop practicing and doing certain movements. So there's a couple tests that we can do. And now these tests are not, there's no medical purpose here. They're just a good gauge for us as we go through this program to be able to see, is my mobility getting better? Am I improving? Do I see results? And you may be seeing in your workouts right now that you're having a really hard time getting to depth in your squat, or maybe when you push, or excuse me, when you press, you arch your back and you hurt your back, and there's some things that are happening that we want to work on, and these tests will help us do that. So there's two tests I want to start out by showing you. The first is called the wall test. What you do is you back up to a wall. Ideally, you have your heels up against the wall, your butt up against the wall, your shoulders. And what you want to do is you want to draw in your stomach. So you have a tendency when you go up, you may want to arch your back to get your shoulders to touch. You want to tighten that core and draw in your pelvis. And then you want to put your chin back as well. So your head's touching, your shoulders are touching, my butt is touching, my heels are touching, and my back. There's very little arch in here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to raise up my arms. I want to get to is I want to get to where my wrists can touch. As soon as my wrists start touching, my back starts arching. So I have to tighten my back. And that's about all the farther I can get to. I can't quite get my wrists to touch. So I have a little mobility work. Now, if you have a really hard time getting anywhere, what you can do is you can move your feet out, about half of a foot or so, and then try. And I have a lot easier time getting my back tight up against the wall, and I can actually get my wrists when I'm like that. So that's a way to kind of cheat on the test, but you ideally want to get to the point where you can get all of those access points on the wall. I can't get my wrists. I start arching my back, and it's hard for me to hold that. So that's the first test. The second test, and you really might be seeing this one with all the squats we're doing, right? So a lot of people have a hard time getting to depth in their squat, and sometimes they're just squatting down like this. And you see their ankles, their knees will go out, sometimes their knees will go in, your knees will go in, sometimes they'll go out, and sometimes your heels will come off the ground, like that. The other thing that will happen is that your back, as you squat down, you bend your back, right? So this is called the overhead squat test. So what you want to do is you want to put your hands over your head, feet shoulder width apart, and squat down to depth. Now you can see here, my arms are about parallel with my legs. See that? And I can get down to 90 degrees and even past 90 degrees. So that's ideally what you want, is you want that straight line, parallel from your knees to your arms. Some of the ways you'll see when you do this is, first of all, you won't be able to get down to 90. Second of all, your arms will flare down. You have that forward lean. Of course, you might also have your knees go in. You really want your knees to stay right over those second and third toes, down like that. So again, this isn't a medical test. You're not diagnosing anything, but their mobility exercises will help you with ankle mobility, with hip mobility, with your back, and with your shoulder mobility, and a little bit with neck as well. And hopefully, once we work on these, you can improve and you can get down to a place where you are able to get either 290 or close to 90 in your squat. And it's more comfortable. You're just able to move better. This is going to help you in your everyday life with your kids and your family. Being able to squat down, right? Like I do this with my kids all the time. So try those two tests out. If you need somebody to do them with you, and watch this video, follow right along and see how you do. And then as you go through the program, redo the tests on occasion and see if you're getting better. And you'll also be able to see if you're getting